Well, everyone, it's Denis King, and I'm the CEO of Solace. And I'm super excited to be joined here by Vikas Anand, who is the head of product of Apigee API Management at Google Cloud. Welcome, Vikas. How's it going?
Dennis, it's going well, given the circumstances. Great to see you again. I believe last time when we met, it was in person, and we were clicking glasses over a wonderful red. So it's been a while. Good to see you virtually on a fireside.
Yeah, no, I certainly remember that. It's been a while with the COVID times, but we've known each other for quite some time, and it's interesting to be here now talking about event-driven architecture, API management, and Google. So welcome, and thanks so much for being here, Vikas. So why don't we just start with some simple stuff about maybe start with your background, how you landed at Google, and your current role at Google.
Sounds good. So Dennis, you've known me for a while. I have been really focused in helping customers solve, really the enterprise use cases for building out solutions, business processes, which needs to be automated, and really help customers through their digital journeys. That's something which I have been investing in over the last almost 2 decades now. And, as a part of this journey, I joined Google in 2019, and I head the business application platform product portfolio, which includes Apigee, a leader in the API management space. And last year, in January of 2020, we actually acquired a company called AppSheet, because we see, a holistic extension of APIs, consumption, with a very diverse set of audiences going forward. So this portfolio is called Business Application Platform, and Apigee and AppSheet are a part of the product, and I had those product lines.
Awesome. Well, so before we actually get into what Apigee does and really the whole API economy, why don't we just I'm doing this with everybody. I just want to do a very quick lightning round of some specifics about you, Vikas, so people can get to know you a little bit. So why don't we just do this real quick, 3 seconds per answer sort of thing, and run through this. So what would be your favorite book?
Oh, my favorite book. The Zen Art of War.
Oh,
it's a great book. I highly recommend it.
How about your favorite movie?
My all-time favorite is Godfather, though recently with the quarantine and staying with the kids, I've been really following the Avengers.
Yeah, I have the same issue at home, likewise. So favorite band?
Perhaps it shows my age a little bit. Doors, Jim Morrison.
Wow, okay. Favorite food?
Italian.
Of course. And favorite sport to play, or maybe favorite sport to watch?
I grew up playing cricket, so cricket is my all-time favorite in terms of playing games. When it comes to watching, I have a passion to watch basketball. It's a very active game, and of course, Warriors were doing great over the last few years in the Bay Area. I'm hoping that they come around this time. So I root for the Warriors, and basketball is a game which I like to watch.
Awesome. So that's awesome. So why don't we just switch gears a little bit and get a little more into API management, Apigee in particular. We have a fairly large audience out there, and not everybody knows what Apigee does, and not everybody knows what APIs do. So could you give us a bit of a background just on the high level of Apigee and the product set?
Sure. I think before we talk about Apigee as a product, I think it's important to understand that APIs are actually touching us every day, in different form factors. They are literally at the center of business interactions that we do on a daily basis. Whether we are booking a cab, checking the weather forecast, ordering our favorite coffee when we wake up in the morning, sending money to friends and family, all of these interactions that we have are indirectly talking to APIs in the backend. So APIs are powering all these experiences, all these interactions, and we just have become consumers of them without realizing that APIs are right there to support our needs on a daily basis. So for businesses, providing these APIs is really important. And when they have to provide these APIs, they need a solution which can help them not only design, but create, secure, analyze, operate these APIs. And at Google Cloud, we have a platform which helps users do exactly that. And this platform is called Apigee, a full lifecycle API management solution. Not only it helps customers, do the lifecycle aspects of API management, but also is unique in the market to offer monetization capabilities so that you can, as a user, as a customer, monetize your APIs at a very high scale in a multi-cloud environment. I think there are certain benefits with an API architecture which are recognized, but let me reiterate. With an API-driven architecture, businesses can quickly deliver not only differentiated consumer experiences, but they can also better manage and interact with partners, build new revenue channels, and more importantly, start participating as well as creating ecosystems. So Apigee today is used by thousands of customers, enterprise and mid-market, corporate customers, who essentially use this across the globe to solve these set of problems.
I was looking at a survey that was recently launched by Google just recently, and it was called the State of the API Economy. And it talks a lot in there about statistics for COVID, the evolution of APIs and digital transformation. And I was just curious from your perspective, like what are some of the trends and shifts that you're seeing, COVID driven maybe, but also just generally speaking, there were quite a bit of details in that paper. And what are some of the shifts and trends you're seeing in the API management space, as it pertains to sort of digital transformation initiatives that are happening?
Sure. I think this is an interesting conversation, and it's very timely. For years now, and Apigee has been a clear thought leader in this space. We are market leaders. If you look at the analysts like Gartner and Forrester, this is the 5th year in the row that we have been thought leaders in the space. But on a regular basis, we reach out to our customers, we reach out to CIOs, and we run different surveys to understand, literally what is the state of the API economy. What we've learned over the years, digital transformation has been like an enterprise imperative, a top business imperative for enterprises on a regular basis. But what we saw in the last 1 year or so, that with COVID-19 pandemic and the changing market conditions, there's an incredible sense of urgency. We learned through our recent survey that 75% of organizations are continuing their digital transformation journey despite the pandemic. Customers have really embraced APIs. APIs generally used to be the agents of access, but now they are actually driving the business critical and differentiated use cases, such as enabling omni-channel use cases, touchless payments, touchless ordering systems, virtual experiences. If you're in the fintech and financial space, things which can help you embrace digital through open banking as an example. So there's a whole vertical aspect to APIs. An important finding from this report is also that more than 50% of the people who were part of the survey said that APIs help them deliver, not only build, but also deliver better digital experiences and accelerate innovation by exposing assets with partners. So the partner participation in ecosystem is becoming extremely important.
For sure. And the survey talks a lot about factors, and through COVID, we are seeing a massive digitization happening across the board: payments, e-commerce, supply chain. And as people digitize, can you talk a little bit about some of the factors that are required for a successful digital platform or digital transformation?
If you look at what is required to build a successful digital platform, a lot of the focus has been on organizations really prioritizing digital transformation as a key imperative. And we talked about this in a discussion a few minutes back. But what we think is really the evolution of this is really what we call as digital excellence. Let me explain what this means. What it means for organization is the organization needs to make digital as a core business strategy. The organization has to democratize application development across the organization. The actual applications themselves have to be more composable and agile so that they can adapt to changing market needs. There has to be a focus on measurable business outcomes. And as a part of this business outcome, it's extremely important to create large ecosystems of developers and partners that can help drive the innovation for the organization's business. Finally, I think a very key factor in this drive towards digital excellence is to put your data to work, which is really about aggregating and positioning your data for analysis, for machine learning, and for business decision making. Now, these are the core factors. APIs contribute to each of these factors and help businesses progress faster towards their digital excellence goals. Let me illustrate with an example. L'Oreal is one of our customers. They're using our platform. They're essentially building a data platform that aims to put organizational data into action for an insight-driven innovation model. The company is using APIs on top of that to drive technology in beauty use cases, or drive beauty tech use cases, if you will, like virtual try-on, partner onboarding, monetization models, etc. These are important factors now, which will become the foundation for the pivot from digital transformation to digital excellence.
Very interesting. So I'm going to switch gears a little bit here, because we talked about this multiple times, in our previous meetings around, hybrid integration platform, integration, event-driven architecture, obviously, which is one of the reasons why we're here today. But if I could just ask you about, you even brought up the L'Oreal case, and there's probably lots of others, and you brought up AppSheet as well as one of your key capabilities in no-code, low-code integration. But where are you seeing integration playing a role? If you look at other API management players, some of them have integration, some of them don't, and you guys have AppSheet. But big picture, where are you seeing integration play a role in some of these use cases and some of these digital transformations?
I mean, I think APIs are the tip of the spear for the digital transformation and digital excellence. And then, of course, APIs have to be consumed and applications and solutions have to be built. As we've seen in the last few years, and this is predating COVID, business owners are really striving for innovation, and they want to have a velocity when it comes to pace of change. But then it comes with a limitation, a constraint. Tech teams today are struggling for many reasons, such as budgets, lack of skilled resources, and globally distributed teams. What if we could provide a solution which can help complement the skills of the technical developers with the non-technical, or more popularly, the citizen developers in the audience? So this is where we see an opportunity, and that's why we invested in AppSheet, where APIs and no-code platforms can come together, where APIs are managed by an API management platform, but they provide a seamless access to platforms like AppSheet, where citizen developers can consume these APIs to build applications. And Dennis, we actually have had a very exciting last week. We announced the automation availability in AppSheet. So not only build applications, but build out automations using these APIs without coding. So imagine that now a factory floor manager, or a dispatcher in the field, or an operational manager in the organization has access to the tool set to build solutions for themselves. And this is very important because business owners understand the business requirements better than anybody else in the company. And if you can empower them, it definitely solves this problem in a foundational way.
Yeah, no, I think no code, low code, system integration in combination with APIs is fairly powerful. So that's definitely something we see consistently in the industry. And now, of course, I'm going to bring event-driven architecture into this and get your perspective on APIs have been around for a long time. They've been predominantly RESTful, which obviously is a super important piece of the puzzle. But how do you see events or event-driven architecture participating in the API world? How do you see these things coming together?
I think events and APIs, it's a very common element of architectures that we see, modern architectures that we see, both in existing customers as well as, I think a viewpoint from an architecture for the future. For instance, many of our retail customers have apps that need to receive events from logistic providers. So they use Apigee to provision these topics and subscriptions in order to extend the core tenets of API management, onboarding, discovery, documentation, security, etc., to EDA. Another scenario that we are seeing there are certain patterns which are very well suited for EDA. For example, when there's an API data that has to be sent to multiple backends, EDA is a perfect fit. It could be something which is published to a queue in the back, and then it can be sent to multiple backends. So we're seeing this, almost on a regular basis now as a part of the architecture.
Yeah, I mean, not to get into roadmap or future things, but do you see EDA and Apigee coming together, from a product directional point of view? And I guess more broadly, how does Google? I mean, Google has multiple services within the ecosystem. I mean, how does Google view event-driven architecture on the whole? So maybe two-part question, but what can you tell me about future strategy in that area?
So I think at a high level, I believe that there is a need to provide a sort of a management layer, discovery layer for EDA by applying the best principles of API management to the EDA world. I'm not trying to say that we're trying to build a new EDA platform as a part of Apigee, but think about bringing the best principles of API management to EDA world, where we can enable developers with a sort of a portal for discoverability, formal onboarding of developers, providing rich analytics around events, authorization and authentication as the key ways for enabling our customers to extract more value from their EDA systems. And beyond that, I believe there's more value to aggregate event streams for analytics for purposes of ML modeling, as well as building real-time analytics. So, obviously, this is an area of interest for us. And of course, as thought leaders in the market around API management, we have a unique viewpoint on how we want to bring this best principles of API to the EDA world. Now, the broader question about Google Cloud, Google has some native products such as PubSub, Cloud Data Flow that help customers build EDA systems natively in Google Cloud. Additionally, we also have a number of marketplace partnerships which enable third-party EDA solutions on Google Cloud. Beyond this, we've started to weave an events fabric into Google Cloud, which we call as Event Arc. It's a unified eventing architecture and experience in Google Cloud, sending events to Cloud Run from more than 60 cloud sources. So, of course, customers have choices when they come to GCP to use PubSub Cloud Data Flow, but also a rich set of third-party, marketplace partnerships, which enable them to use any EDA solution on GCP.
Yeah, no, awesome. I think it certainly aligns with our overall point of view in terms of how events are participating in helping customers become more agile, more real time. And because everybody's API led and everybody's using cloud services, it all sort of comes together. So that's great to hear that you guys are aligned with a similar strategy. So just to finish off, Vikas, I want to ask you a personal question. I mean, we've had an incredible year of COVID. There's been a lot of negativity, geopolitical negativity. There's been a lot of challenges, both on the personal side and in the work from home environment. I just thought I'd ask you, in this sort of negative world of things going on, what do you see? What are you optimistic about? I guess. What do you see on the positive side?
I think we've had enough challenges in the last year, and I think we've all seen it, and it's something that we have been living through. But during the same year, I think we've learned a lot. We've experienced the benefits of having, a better climate with less pollution, since we did not have as many people on the roads. We've learned a lot more by being able to spend some time with our loved ones. Fortunately, we were not traveling much during this period. So, in some ways, we're able to spend some time with people who are close to us. But at the same time, we were not able to see people who are distant to us, and that's been a challenge. What's the most promising that I've seen is when I look at, out of this whole last year, a growing focus on the future of our planet, where people are much more concerned today on, ensuring that the planet stays a healthier, vibrant planet for the future, and we can do everything right today to plan for that future. And that makes me optimistic, and really optimistic about the future. As the vaccines get rolled out and the light is at the end of the tunnel, that's one of the areas I'm going to focus on in the future, personally as well.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. I mean, I'm getting my vaccine finally in a few weeks, so I'm super excited by that. I think the climate aspect is a super important one, and I can certainly relate to you on the children and the time spent with my children in the last 12 months. So, totally agree. So listen, Vikas, thanks so much for taking the time. I know you're a busy guy, and there's a lot going on, but thanks so much for taking the time and joining us here at EDA Summit. And I definitely look forward to working closer with Apogee. We're seeing lots of traction in the field together. So thanks so much, and I look forward to a face-to-face meeting in the future over another glass of wine. So thanks again.
Thank you so much, Dennis, for having me, and really appreciate the time we spent today.
Thank you.